You got eyes on Will. We need him to come watch this. So I'm running all over the studio. He's not in his dressing room. I go to the cafeteria. I'm like, but I see his car there. I'm like, where's this guy at? So now I'm holding Duane down too. So I have the keys to his dressing room. So I'm like, yo, and they're calling I'm on walkie-talkie and they're calling my cell phone. Yo, we need to get Will here. And I'm like, yo, kind of down. Like, I'm trying to find this. Like, this is unlike him, right? So, all right, I open the door to Duane's dressing room, and that's when I see Duane and having sex with Will.
So we're only a few days into 2026, and the already shaky image of the Smith family isn't just cracking, it's completely unraveling. While everyone was busy with New Year's, a bombshell lawsuit just hit the courts that makes those open marriage rumors look like a bedtime story. We're talking about a world-class violinist, Brian King Joseph, coming forward with allegations of predatory grooming and harassment that supposedly went down behind the scenes of Will's 2025 tour. And get this isn't some random claim, it's part of a massive legal wave, including a $3 million lawsuit from Will's best friend of 40 years, who claims Jada literally threatened that he'd end up missing or catch a bullet if he didn't sign an NDA. From Jaguar Wright's claims about the Puffy-flavored camp, to Orlando Brown saying he has the keys to Will's deepest secret, the receipts are finally being served. Today we're peeling back the layers of the Hollywood House of Secrets to see why the industry's most powerful couple is suddenly running out of ways to hide the truth. To understand how deep this goes, you have to look at the guy who was in the room for 40 years.
Bilaal Salam.
Also known as Brother Bilaal, he wasn't just an employee, he was the best friend Will included in his own memoir. But as of late 2025 and heading into 2026, the friendship is officially dead. Bilaal has filed a $3 million lawsuit against Jada Pinkett Smith, and the details are terrifying. Check this out. Bilaal alleges that during Will's 53rd birthday party, Jada confronted him with a 7-person entourage and told him point blank that if he didn't stop telling her personal business, he'd catch a stray bullet. Why was she so desperate to silence him? Well, Bilaal is the same guy who went on record saying he walked in on Will in a compromising position with actor Duane Martin. According to the suit, when Bilaal refused to help with a so-called crisis management cover-up after the infamous 2022 Oscar slap, the Smiths launched a full-scale retaliatory campaign to destroy his life. In the world of the elite, an NDA is a leash, and Bilaal is the first one to snap it. If you thought the Bilaal Salam lawsuit was the only thing the Smiths had to worry about, here's where the story takes a much darker turn into what industry insider Jaguar Wright calls the Puffy-flavored camp. For years, Jaguar has been shouting from the rooftops about a specific circle of Hollywood elites, including Will Smith and Jay-Z, who she claims were inextricably linked to Diddy's inner circle. The wild part is that Jaguar doesn't just call them friends. She alleges that Will and Jada were active participants in the same camp shenanigans that Diddy is now being investigated for. She specifically mentions that this camp functioned as a machine to turn out young stars, essentially breaking their spirits and their boundaries to make them more compliant for the industry. If that wasn't enough to make you look twice, check out the names she's dropped. She's claimed for a long time that Justin Bieber, Bryshere, and even August Alsina were passed around within this ecosystem. The theory she's putting forward is that the open marriage was never about freedom. It was a strategic alliance that allowed the Smiths to maintain their power within Diddy's orbit. In Jaguar's words, Will wasn't just a victim of the system, he was an architect of it, and Jada was the one holding the blueprints. As the Diddy documents continue to unravel, many of the shocking details Jaguar has been talking about for years are starting to look less like conspiracy and more like a roadmap of how Hollywood really moves. The story takes an even more chilling turn when you compare the personality switch of Bryshere to the well-documented transformation of Justin Bieber. On the surface, they were both rising stars handed over to legendary mentors for guidance, but according to insiders like Jaguar Wright, what they actually experienced was a coordinated system of tutelage designed to break them. Think about Justin Bieber. In 2009, when he was just 15, He was famously handed over to Diddy for 48 unsupervised hours. Diddy even went on camera saying he was given legal guardianship of Justin for that weekend, and that what they were doing was disclose-only territory. We all saw the results. Justin went from a bright-eyed kid to a young man struggling with deep trauma, lashing out at fans, publicly humiliating Haley, and eventually admitting he was dark and troubled during those years. Now look at Bryshere Gray. His career followed almost the exact same blueprint. He was placed under the tutelage of Charlie Mack, Will Smith's longtime manager, and a key figure in that same Puffy-flavored circle. Jaguar Wright alleges that this is where Bryshere's spirit was effectively flipped. Check this out. Bryshere went from being a disciplined, rising actor with a whole wife to a man whose life seemingly spiraled overnight. Sources claim he thought getting married would fix the internal damage from his Hollywood encounters, but it didn't work. It allegedly led to the violent domestic situation that almost cost his wife her life and landed him in a legal nightmare. The parallel is impossible to ignore. Whether it's Bieber's 48 hours with Diddy or Bryshere's time in the Smith-Mack circle, the outcome is the same for someone who can't easily adapt. A complete personality switch, deep-seated trauma, and a sense that these young stars were thrown to the wolves before they even knew the rules of the game. In 2026, as more victims find their voice, we're realizing that these mentorships were often just a front for the industry's most predatory rituals. When you look back at Jaden Smith's childhood, the pattern takes on a much more personal and honestly disturbing tone. The most famous example is that 2013 interview on Thai TV, where Will Smith affectionately kissed Jaden on the lips. Here's the part that really sticks with people. Jaden was visibly uncomfortable, maybe he was shy. He even told the host that his dad had tried to kiss him on the lips before, but he wasn't for it. When Will finally initiated the kiss, Jaden's reaction wasn't laughing along. He kept trying to wriggle out of Will's embrace. It makes you wonder, if they were that comfortable crossing boundaries on camera, what was happening behind closed doors? Just 2 years later, at age 15, Jaden famously requested legal emancipation from his parents, while Will later claimed it was because Jaden felt betrayed by the failure of their movie After Earth. Sources in the street say it went much deeper. The theory is that Jaden was trying to escape a system of control and grooming that his own parents were allegedly facilitating. In 2026, looking at Jaden's distant relationship with his family today, that uncomfortable moment looks less like an affectionate dad and more like something else entirely. Others also suspect this was Will trying to get Jaden more comfortable going along with the practices that go on behind industry closed doors. What do you guys think? But the Smiths weren't just grooming the next generation. According to Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Deal, they were active players in the most elite and messy circles in Hollywood. Gene Deal recently told a story about a birthday party at the Four Seasons that completely reframes Will and Jada's reputation. According to Gene, Diddy actually stood up and told his security to stay close because he was about to snuff Will Smith. Why? Because Diddy allegedly felt that Will and Jada were pressing up on Jennifer Lopez, trying to scoop her up for a three-way. Think about the power dynamics there. Diddy, the man currently at the center of the biggest Freakoff investigation in history, was reportedly ready to fight Will Smith because Will was playing the same game. It proves that the open marriage thing wasn't just some enlightened lifestyle choice. It was a way for the Smiths to navigate the Puffy-flavored camp. It wasn't about love or freedom. It was about access, and in a world where secrets are currency, being the couple that can scoop up a superstar like J-Lo is the ultimate form of leverage. But perhaps the most explosive part of this involves Tisha Campbell and her ex-husband, Duane Martin. For years, Tisha and Duane were Hollywood's it couple, but when they finally split in a messy divorce, the mask started to slip. Here's the thing that most fans miss. Bilal Salam's $3 million lawsuit isn't just about Jada's threats, it's about what he allegedly saw between Will and Duane. He claims he walked in on them in a dressing room, and the description he gave to Tasha K was so graphic it went viral instantly. But if that wasn't enough, rumors are now circulating that Will Smith was actually the primary reason Tisha Campbell's marriage collapsed. Sources claim Tisha caught Duane and Will in a compromising position, and it wasn't a one-time thing. There are even allegations that Will broke up Tisha's household because he was caught with Duane more than once. The wild part is that Jada reportedly knew everything and used it as leverage to keep Will complicit in her own lifestyle choices. It reframes the entire Smith-Martin friendship not as a bromance, but as a hidden partnership that eventually cost Tisha her marriage and her peace of mind. We have to wrap this up with the wild card of the entire situation, Orlando Brown. For years, people dismissed Orlando as unstable, but in his 2025/2026 interviews, his predictions are starting to come true with terrifying accuracy. Orlando has stated on record that he holds the keys to Will Smith's deepest, darkest secret, something so big it would effectively end Will's career in a single day. He hints that it involves not just Will, but the sacrifices made within the industry to maintain that A-list status. As we move further into 2026, with the Brian King Joseph lawsuit gaining steam and Bilal Salam refusing to be silenced, it feels like the gatekeepers are finally losing their grip on the vault. The truth about the Philly secrets and the Hollywood rituals is no longer just a rumor, it's becoming the headline. At the end of the day, the Smith family has spent decades building the perfect image, but time after time in recent history, it's proving that no amount of PR or NDAs can keep the truth buried forever, whether it's Jaden's Emancipation, Tisha's broken marriage, or Bilal's $3 million lawsuit. The receipts are everywhere. The industry's control is failing, and the people who were once forced to shake it off are finally speaking up. We want to know what you think. Is Orlando Brown just talking for views, or is he the only one brave enough or unstable enough to say what the rest of Hollywood is terrified of? Hit that subscribe button and let me know your theories in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.